So this is lesson 4 of our first number sense unit. And this might be a review for you, but it's a good review to have to remember how our place value system works. So in this lesson, we're going to write numbers as sums of ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands in different ways. So looking at this first slide here, how many ones blocks are there altogether, it asks. Well, let's see. Here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Whew, that's a lot of counting to do. So if we have 34 blocks, then it asks us at the bottom, do we have enough to trade for a tens block? What do you think? Can we put groups of 10 together? Well, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each column. So what if I did this? There we would have a group of 10, right? How many groups of 10s would we have? Our next group of 10, and here's our next group of 10. So we can see we have 1, 2, 3 groups of 10 and 4 left over. So we have 3 10s and 4 1s. So looking at our hint, what does each digit tell you? It tells you how much is in each place value. This place value is the ones, this place value is the tens. So, like we wrote down there, we've got 34. Okay, looking at this slide here, we're going to use these lines to represent tens. So, looking here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. And how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we can count by fives, right? So here we've got 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 4 10s and 19 ones. That kind of breaks the rule, right? To have one digit in each place value. So we can take this 10 and move it over. Let's draw it out here. We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10s, and mine aren't quite as nice as the ones they had here, but we can assume that they're the same thing. And that leaves us with 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can rewrite 4 10s and 19 ones as 5 10s and 9 ones. So 4 10s and 19 ones is the same amount as 5 10s and 9 ones. This is an important concept to understand our place value system. Okay, looking at this one, if we have 6 10s and 25 ones, again, we're breaking the rule here by having more than one digit in the ones place. So we can take this 10 and move it over, right? Let's look at this chart under here to make this easier to understand. Okay, so we started with 6 10s and 25 ones. Now if we're going to take these 10 ones and move them over here, then we have 6 10s plus 2 10s, and we're leaving the 5 1s over here. This should have given us another column here, or another row, here to add these up, but we'll just put it on the bottom. 6 plus 2 is 8 10s, and we're left with 5 1s. So the number is equal to 85. Now let's regroup without a chart. So we've got 3 10s and 42 ones here. Here are 42 is breaking the rules again. Can't have more than one digit in a place value. So we're going to take the 10s from here and move them over to here. So now we have 3 plus 4 10s, and we know that 3 plus 4 will be 7 10s, and we're left with 2 1s. This one is getting a little bit trickier. Now we're going into the hundreds. So if we have 3 hundreds, 15 10s, we know if we have 10 10s, that equals 100. So now we have 3 plus 100s, which will give us 400s and 5 tens left over. So our number then would be, to write it out in standard form, is 450. Now let's try another one. If we have 700s, and I'm going to use H for hundreds, plus 23 tens, I'll use T for tens, what will that equal? We're going to take the 10 tens from here, which actually is a value of 20, so 20 tens from here, and move it over to the hundred spot where it really belongs. So now we have 700s plus 200s, and we know that that will equal 900s plus 3 tens. And we have to be very careful to remember that in this question, both of these, we have 0 ones, right? So we can't leave that off, because if we just write 93, then it's 9 tens and 3 ones, and that's not what we have. We have 900s and 3 tens. So we have to put that 0 as a placeholder there, so that we keep the numbers in the correct spot. Here's another one. If we have 600s and we have 22 tens, 18 ones, where are we going to start with our grouping? We've got a hint here that says to group the ones first. Always start with the smallest units, which in this case is the ones. When we get into decimal numbers, then there will be smaller units yet, but we're not at that point yet. We're still working with whole numbers. So looking at the ones, we have 18. Well, we know we can't have 2 digits in the ones place, so we're going to move that 1 over to here. Leaves us with 8 ones. Now if we move 1 10 over to here, we have 22 plus 1, which will be 23 tens. We don't want to leave it at 23 because then we have 2 digits in the 10 spot, and we can't do that. So we have to take this 2 and move it over to the 100 spot. Let's put our 6 in there. And again, we should have another row here of these to do this with, but that's okay. We'll make do. 8 ones. We're going to leave our 3 tens here, moving our 2 over because this is 200. 2 tens is 200. 6 plus 2 is 800. So this ends up to be 838. And make sure you don't get confused here about this O, because it's not a 0, it's an O for ones, right? Think we can go even further, regrouping up to 10,000s. What if we had the number with 9 10,000s, 8,000s, 1,600s, 34 tens, and 11 ones? That's an awful lot of regrouping we have to do, but I know that you guys can do it. We're going to try doing it a little bit shortcutty way and see if you can follow along. So we know that we have 2 digits in the ones place, so one of them has to go. We leave 1 1 there, so I'm going to put that down here and move this 10. 11 ones or 10 ones actually means a 10. I'm going to move it over here, cross this one out to make it 35 tens. This way we don't have to rewrite them every time like we did on the last slide. But wait, now we have 2 digits in the tens place and we can't do that. So we know that 30 tens actually means 300s. So we're going to move that up to here, and 1600s plus 300s is going to be 1900s. And we're going to be left with 5 tens here. Oh, but now we've got 2 digits in the hundreds place. It's not 100s, it's actually 10 hundreds. And we know 10 hundreds is 1,000. So we're going to move it over here to the thousands place, which leaves us with 900s down here. Now we've got 8,000 plus 1,000, which gives us 9. We only have 1 digit in this place, so we can just copy it down here. And we have no more regrouping to do, so we're left with 9 10,000s there. So writing out this number in standard form, we would have 99,951. Now you might think that this is somewhat confusing, But let me show you the way that the Egyptians wrote their numbers to see if you like their system better or our system. So look at these numbers.